Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello there, my friends. This is Kevin, back again, bringing you the complete solutions and the videos of NCERT syllabus. Now here, to the left of mine, you can find the information button. What you can do is, you can click on it and find the adjacent playlists that are covering the other chapters of 6th standard Hony Suckle book. The chapter that I'm going to explain today to you is Fair Play. This story actually hails from the state of West Bengal. The characters that can be seen over here are typically belonging to the very place, and the name suggests as well. It's a village out there. The first character is Jumman Sheikh. Then it is Algu Chaudhary, and then the one Samjhu Sahu, who comes in a later half of the chapter. It's about the friendship of Jumman and Algu. They were two friends, bonded with friendship so tight that actually if someone went out of the town, the other person took care of his family. They had a good family bond as well. Now, it happens so that Jumman has an old aunt. She had a property, a house in which Jumman and his family used to stay. Now, it happened one fine day that the aunt suggested Jumman to get into a pact, a contract that says that she would be giving the property to Jumman, who would in turn take care of her until her old age. Jumman agrees for that. But very soon the tussles start. It was Jumman's wife who did not agree with certain points with her aunt. There were quarrels, and even the little food grain that was offered to aunt began to tickle in the eyes of Jumman's wife. Thus, the aunt realized the fact that she was being unwanted in the family. She took it for some time until her patience broke. She spoke to Jumman about providing her a monthly allowance so that she can make her own kitchen, prepare her own food, and just carry on. To which Jumman disagreed. The aunt, when knew that Jumman said that his wife could take care of the family properly and there's no need for a separate kitchen, grew a bit agitated. She called in for the panchayat. Now my friends, the panchayat, I'll let you know, is a kind of legal group in the villages prevailing in India. Here there are 5 learned members, elders, wise men, who listen to the commotions, the differences between the villagers, and then give an outcome. Now, the panch, that is the head person, is usually revered as a judge, a magistrate, and his judgment is based on facts and truth. Calling in the panchayat was the last option for the aunt, because she spoke to quite a number of villages about the problem that was going on. She was informed. Some people laughed at her, some people sympathized, and some even said to make peace with Jumman and his wife and continue in the same house. Thus, she got no concrete support from anyone. That led her to call the panchayat and take the matters to the higher authority. She even spoke to Algu about that. When Algu informed that he and Jumman have been fast friends, and any decision that would not be in relevance of Jumman would hamper their friendship. It happens so that the aunt opts Algu as the panch. Jumman was quite curious and happy to know that Algu is the panch. Thus, would be giving the decision in favor of Chumman. But it happens so that Algu, on hearing the facts and everything, and on receiving a quote by Chumman that there are a few quarrels, but now I just can't feed my aunt. Yes, there was a pact while giving the house to me. Now this was something that was wrong, and Algu, sitting on a post of the punch, had to give a right decision. So out of the way he went, took a risk of his friendship, and gave a decision that was against Chumman's wish. He asked Chumman to provide monthly expenses to aunt, as he was her nephew, or the property would go back to aunt. Chumman now was petrified. He was really feeling bad, and he made enemies with Algu. He was waiting for the right chance to take a revenge to come, and seldom were they seen ever together now. The time passed. The village quite can be harsh at times. Thus it happened to Algu. One of the pair of his bullocks died, and he sold the other one to Samju Sahu, a farmer, and the third person. The pact between them was made of Samju paying him the amount of the bullock within a month. But incidentally, Algu's second bullock too died before the month. Now, this took a period of time. After a few months, Algu went ahead and reminded Samju of the amount that he owed him. Samju incidentally said that he wouldn't be paying him any amount because the bullock that he gave him died before the completion of the month. Thus the pact was null and void. Although he offered Algu to take one of his bullocks for a month, get the work done, and then return it back, thus completing the favor. Algu now felt cheated and sought once again the panchayat. Since there is no legality out there in villages, my friends, so the panchayat plays an important role in the judgmental procedure in villages. It happens so that incidentally, under the same banyan tree where the first panchayat was held, and Algu had given the judgment that was against his friend Chumman, once again everybody got connected. Now, it happened so that cunningly Samju appointed Chumman as the punch. This actually petrified Algu. He was really sorry about the fact. He was really sorry to know that now it's the chance for Chumman to take the revenge. Thus, he was saddened. Now it happens so that incidentally Chumman, while sitting at the post of the punch, suddenly realized that right now is not the time to go and take the revenge with Algu, since he was sitting at a dignified position, and that dignified position really did not allow him to put in his personal interests and take a decision under the influence of the revenge that he had in his mind. Thus, listening to the whole thing, he goes ahead and orders Samju to pay Algu the amount. As soon as Algu heard it, he jumped out there and gave praises in the name of panchayat, because his belief in the punch and the people who make the panchayat was really solidified at the very moment. This story here gives us a notion, my friends, of Having responsibilities makes you take decisions wisely, keeping apart your personal interests, your personal grudges, or any ill feeling towards others. On being a dignified position, for example, if you be the class monitor, it may not always be that your decisions would be in favor of your best friends, my friends. So you know what I mean now. Let's have a look at the question answers if there are few. Now, then the situation changed. What is being referred to here? The situation being referred to Jumman's behavior towards his aunt is referred over here. As the months passed, they seemed to be a bit worried about taking care of the aunt, and even the little amount of food grain that she used to consume seemed to be a large thing for his wife. Thus the situation changed. The total notion, the point of view of the family changed towards the aunt. When Jumman's aunt realized that she was not welcomed in his house, what arrangement did she suggest? She simply suggested that Jumman would pay her monthly expenses or allowance, and she would arrange for a separate kitchen where she could cook her own food. What was the villagers' reaction when aunt explained her case to them? Well, there were numerous reactions by the villagers, my friends. The first was, some of them laughed. Some of them, yes, sympathized with her. And a few even went ahead and asked her to make peace with Jumman and his wife and return back to home. Why was Jumman happy over Algo's nomination as head punch? Now, since Jumman and Algo were best of friends, the name of Algo, when suggested by aunt, was announced. Jumman immediately felt that Algo, being his friend, would take a decision undoubtedly in Jumman's favor. What was Algo's verdict as a head punch, and how did Jumman take it? Algo's favor as a head punch was not biased. It was not based on their friendship. It did not favor Jumman's act. Rather, it was an unfavorable verdict towards Jumman that led him to pay the monthly allowance, thus to retain the property or else lose it. Here, Jumman took this verdict as a total unfavorable statement, and he made enemies with his friend Algo. God lives in the heart of the punch, the aunt said. What did she mean? The aunt knew that somewhere these two friends, Jumman and Algo, have got a bond of friendship, yet God lives in the heart of the punch is a line that she muttered because she knew that being on a position of the head punch, the decision had to be taken with equilibrium. Equilibrium, my friends, here means he has to evaluate both the sides of the story. He has to evaluate Jumman's side of the story as well as the aunt's side of the story. Thus, she made Algo think over this by saying these lines. Why was Algo upset over Jumman's nomination as head punch? Now, Algo remembered that once he, as a head punch, had taken an unfavorable decision, given a verdict against Jumman. Thus, he felt a bit sad that now Jumman has got the chance to take the revenge. Algo found himself in a tight spot. What was his problem? He found himself in the tight spot because one of his bullocks died. The second bullock he had sold to Samju Sahu, for which he did not receive any payment. And when asking for the payment, he was confronted by the fact that even his second bullock died within a period of a month. Thus, there was no chance of getting money. Rather than he could take the bullock of Samju for 30 days and then return it back. What was Jumman's verdict as head punch, and how did Algu take it? Although we know that Jumman had a revenge, he wanted to take revenge from Algu, yet what he did, he took a step ahead, explored himself on the chair of the head punch, and evaluated the equilibrium between what's right and what's wrong. He kept aside his personal grudges, his feeling of revenge, the ill feeling that he had, and took a wise decision and asked Samju to pay the amount to Algu. Because at the time when the bullock was sold, it was healthy and not ill. Algu here really was happy by the reply, by the verdict, and thus he jumped out in joy and giving out praises in the name of panchayat. So this was a small explanation of the chapter. Hope it helps you. To the right here is a link to the other adjacent playlists. Click on it and you'll be forwarded. Do subscribe to our channel. Please comment again. We would be eager to listen from you. Thank you.